Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I'm going to do a makeup tutorial. This is a look that is great for the holidays. You know, it's Thanksgiving this week here in the United States, and so Thanksgiving really kicks off the start to the holiday season. This is a look that I wore in a recent video, and it got so many great comments. You guys love the eye look, you guys love the whole makeup look, so you asked me to recreate it. So the makeup that I'm using in this video is all what I was wearing in that video, and as I was looking at it, I was like, oh wow, this is all kind of expensive, higher end makeup. So the total on my face today is about $500 worth of makeup. Obviously, you don't have to use high-end stuff like this. You can use whatever you're comfortable with and just follow along using the same techniques to get the same look out of the makeup that you do have. Give the video a thumbs up if you want to see a drugstore dupe of this, and I can try to dupe the exact same look from the drugstore. The first product I'm going to use, because you guys always are interested in what sunscreen I'm wearing and what goes with what makeup. So the sunscreen I'm wearing in this one is the Anessa Perfect UV Sunscreen Aqua Booster Mild for sensitive skin, SPF 50+, PA+++++. I'm using this sunscreen today because it's a lighter, airier finish. This foundation doesn't tend to do very well with a heavy sunscreen, so if you're used to wearing the Australian Gold and you've tried this and it didn't look good, that is probably why. Always make sure that you're putting on enough sunscreen so that you get the coverage on the label. I always let my sunscreen set up for 15 to 20 minutes before I apply my face makeup. While that sets up, I'm going to exfoliate my lips. My skin has been so dry lately. It just became kind of winter here in New England. For that, I'm going to use the Pixi Skin Treatment's Nourishing Lip Polish. So you just squeeze a little bit up onto your lips, and then I use the scrubby tip and do a little scrubby dubby. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put some eyelid primer. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I just take a little dab of it on the back of my hand. And this is the greatest stuff for older, crepey eyelids. You know how the skin of your eyelids gets when you get a little bit older. It's often not lovely up there, and then you add eyeshadow to it and it creases and it skips and it just does not look good. All right, so it's been the full 20 minutes for the sunscreen to set up. It doesn't feel tacky. It does leave a slight white, like pinkish cast, so not really that wearable on its own, but still a good sunscreen. I'm going to zoom you in a little closer. So next up is the face primer. I'd use the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. This works very well with that foundation as well. A lot of heavier silicone-based primers do not work well with the YSL. You know, the YSL is a nice foundation, but it's not the easiest to work with. So I'm going to use probably less than that. I always pump it out on the back of my hand. This has a really squirty pumper. I'm just going to put it mainly where I need it the most, where I have enlarged pores, which is right here on the fronts of my cheeks. And I like to rub it in both directions to really get it in there, up the sides of my nose, where the enlarged pores seem to be going everywhere. It's got a lot of slip to it, so a little goes a long way. I'm going to put it under my eyes as like a little primer for my under eye concealer to add a little slipperiness under there to help that not get so tangled up in my wrinkles. So I mainly keep the primer on the center of my face, so I just kind of feather and blend it out there. Now I also like to let the primer set up for a few minutes, but I'm in the habit of doing my eyeshadow first in case I end up with any fallout. For that, I'm going to use the Dior 5 Colors palette. I'm going to take the little sponge and I'm going to pick up some of the lightest color in the palette, which is that pale, beautiful matte pink. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop that on the movable part of my eyelid from the crease down to the lash line. Next, I'm going to use IT Cosmetics Heavenly Looks No Tug Crease Brush, and I'm going to take the second darkest color in the palette right here. I'm going to put that right at the outer corner of my eye into the middle of the crease and just work that in little circles, making sure that I go up high enough here to like disguise the puffy part of my hood that tends to sag forward a little bit, and then repeat on the other eye. Next, I'm going to use my MAC 221 brush and go into the shade in the lower corner. I'm going to take that and I'm going to start at that same little spot, but I'm going to drag it down towards my eyelashes. So up here, I'm just basically making C shape, otherwise known as the outer V. I'm going to use my blending brush. This is a Beauty Junkies Pro Tapered Blender. I'm going to blend that out and across. And then the other place that I blend it is I drag it down and beneath my eye. I love how just like the slightest ghost of shadow underneath the eye just really helps to tie the whole look together. Next, I went in with Sigma Crease E47 brush and the darkest color in the palette. So beautiful, this dark eggplant color. I'm just going to put that at an angle, just drawing a little wedge right there at the outer corner. That makes me feel like Endora from Bewitched, remember her? And then blending brush again, small little circles to blend that out. So pretty, love it. I didn't use the gray in the palette that day, but I really like the gray, so I am going to use it today. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on this Beauty Junkies All Over shader, and I'm just going to add a little bit onto the middle of the movable lid. And then I'm just going to blend that out. And then as the last step, just to bump up the pink at the inner corner, I'm going to go back to the sponge and just really pack that on and lighten it up. Run it right under the eyebrow. And there we go, the eyeshadow is done. There was a little bit of fallout, so I'm going to use this Sonia Kashuk 129 brush to brush that away. By not having our foundation done, we didn't ruin our makeup. Yes, I do look ghostly white. The combination of this and this kind of makes you look a little ghosty. But have no fear, foundation to the rescue. This is the YSL All Hours. So I'm just going to take one pump on the back of my hand. I use the back of my hand as a palette for just about everything. Certainly is convenient, I never lose it. I'm just going to dot this on, and I just take it and kind of rub it into that little crease at the side of my nose because it's so hard to get my foundation to go in there. And this foundation gives such lightweight, beautiful coverage. You just got to bring your makeup down your neck. You don't want to have a hard line right there where your makeup stops. And I don't tend to put my foundation under my eyes. I don't like a lot of layers of makeup under there because that's how you get into trouble. All right, so now we'll go in with the under eye concealer. This is the Lancome Efficern Long Lasting Under Eye Concealer. It is waterproof. I use the tiniest bit of concealer, and I actually use a little lipstick brush. This is a Sephora Pro Lip Brush. And then here I just start at the inner corner and I just make the tiniest little triangle like that. And then I just use my finger because it's nice and warm and it will warm up the under eye concealer and make it spread a little bit easier. And then I just spread it across underneath my eye, keeping it really close to my lower lash line. So use the tiniest amount of concealer that you can get away with depending on how much darkness you have underneath your eyes. And then at the inner trough where you get that shadow, then I just do a little extra line kind of down the dark edge of the trough, and I just press it in, keeping it to that side. I don't want it to go up on top. And then quick, before that has a chance to set, before you have a chance to smile and wrinkle it and crease it, you're gonna get out your IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores HD powder and a little e.l.f. brush. Just pick it up, tap it off, and just press your setting powder, and that will set it. And keep it relatively crease-free. I can't guarantee you no creases because of course you're gonna smile, you're gonna move your face. This setting powder really helps to keep the look of enlarged pores minimized, so I always put a little bit of setting powder right here where I have the enlarged pores, and then I always put a little right here in the center of my forehead. This will set the makeup, help it last longer. Next we'll put on a little bronzer. I'm using the Makeup Forever Artist Face Color Sculpting Powder in S116. For this I use my Beauty Junkies Duo Fiber Brush. You want to do your contouring around the edges of your hairline. Come on, hair, cooperate. If you want to know how to contour your entire face, I have a couple videos on that, and I'll link those right up here. I also use this brush to do under my chin, so it's always nice to do a little contouring if you have a little sagging there. Then I'm going to use my Artis Oval 3 and to contour my nose. Ah! The trick with contouring is to blend. And using that again, I'm going to do a little cheekbone. This is a NYX 06 brush. Oh, we're getting there. Next up is the blush. This is Bobbi Brown blush in Nectar. And I'm going to apply that using my Morphe E33 fan brush. This is a very pigmented blush, so you kind of have to be a little careful with it so that you can not end up with too much on there and still be able to blend it out. And then last base product is the highlighter. I'm going to use Bare Minerals Invisible Glow in medium. I start again high on the cheekbones and just bring that forward and then do a little kind of ball on the front of my cheek, and that tends to make my cheek look quite a bit fuller. All right, now we can just finish up the eyes with the eyeliner. First one is my Sephora contour pencil in Fifth Avenue. This is a dark matte gray. I use this for my upper waterline. And on my lower waterline, I use the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips in Natural Silver. I just run that along my lower waterline. All right, then I use liquid liner on the top lashes. Very hard to do on video. This is the Clinique Pretty Easy liquid liner. Today's mascara will be Estee Lauder's Sumptuous Knockout. And we are so close to done. The last thing is the lippy. I had used the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Naked. And then the lip gloss that I had used was Marc Jacobs Enamored High Shine Lip Gloss in Skin Deep. My last tip for the day is when you overdo your nose contour like that, just take a little bit of your foundation. I'm taking the tiniest little bit on the back of my hand and just picking it up with a sponge. I'm just going to dot it right up the center of my nose and then spread it onto that contour where it seems to have gotten a little heavy-handed. So that's it. Makeup look complete. Easy, right? Just 15 easy steps and 500 bucks. You don't have to have 500 bucks to make this makeup look work. Again, if you do want to see a drugstore dupes of this look, give the video a thumbs up and then I'll know that you want to see that. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful holiday season. This is kind of the kickoff to it. So happy Thanksgiving if you're celebrating that. And I'll see you in the next video. So take care, everybody, and have a great day. Bye-bye.